Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks Best Country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz. Good morning and happy Thursday. It's Grace, brand manager around the Ozarks, filling in for Ethan and Sarah this morning. So I am here to deliver the news. So let's go ahead and get started. The National Weather Service confirmed 4 more tornadoes from the severe weather outbreak that was on Sunday night. One was an EF1 that stayed on the ground for 0.4 of a mile near Tigris. It damaged an outbuilding. Twister had wind speeds of 100 miles per hour and was 250 yards in width. Another EF1 tornado was in western Douglas County. It stayed on the ground for about 2.5 miles, uprooting trees, damaging a manufactured home. And the tornado had wind speeds of 100 miles per hour and was 400 yards in width. An EF1 was just east of Sparta. It went about 2 miles, wind speeds of 94 miles per hour, and it was 333 yards wide. These are all pretty big I don't know how big tornadoes are supposed to be honest, but these all sound very large. So, also there was an EF0 tornado between Spokane and Highlandville in Christian County. This one was for about 0.2 of a mile. It was on the ground and it was 50 yards wide. So that one's a little bit smaller, but this is all in addition to the one that they claimed on Sunday night. There was one that was near Battlefield Sunday night that they claimed it right then. And so now we have a total of 5 from that storm system. Make sure you stay tuned for Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer because we are supposed to get another round of storms. I'm not sure if there's going to be tornadoes or not, but tomorrow is looking pretty crazy. Even tonight is looking kind of crazy. So make sure you listen to Abby Dyer to get all the scoop on that. And speaking of the weather, City Utilities is alerting customers on ways to stay comfortable while managing the heat. Okay. Because it's really hot. And our energy bills are going to go up because if you're like me, you want your house to be nice and cool when it's hot outside. So here are some tips, though, from City Utilities to help with your electricity bill during this time. Adjust your thermostat a few degrees higher when you're away from home, and make sure you get a smart thermostat. That is helpful when you're trying to do that when you're away from home. Make sure you replace or clean your HVAC filters 2 to 3 times in the summer to improve the efficiency of your system. Keep your blinds, curtains, and shades closed during the hottest parts of the day, especially when you have south or west facing windows. Ceiling fans rotate counterclockwise during the summer months, so make sure you turn that. I never know. My husband does that. I never know which is the right way in what season. Seal air leaks around doors and windows with weather stripping or caulk to make sure that you keep the cooled air inside. Using smaller appliances such as microwaves and crock pots instead of the oven can also help. Replace incandescent bulbs with energy efficient LED lighting and also using smart plugs. So those are all of the tips that CU gave us. Do one of them, do all of them. That will help with your bill during these hot times. All right. The city of Springfield will construct a series of intersection improvements. So if you're driving around Springfield, look out. It's going to be across several locations in the community. Improvements will include the replacement of existing traffic signals and reconstruction of curb ramps and sidewalks to meet current ADA standards. You can expect to see the first one happening at Grant and High Street next week. It'll start the 15th, followed by Kimbrough and Madison Street will be the week after on the 22nd. And there's a whole plan. After that, they're going to work on Battlefield and Fort, and then Campbell and Broadmoor, Grant and Atlantic, and then National and Dale. So it'll be worth it in the long run. The sidewalks will be better, but it will be a little bit difficult while they're working on this. Motorists can expect single lane closures during this time, but you will be able to get through. They won't be completely closed. That Kimbrough and Madison Street location, that intersection will temporarily be a 4-way stop, if you are wondering. So just be careful when you're driving around those areas. And the Lost and Found Grief Center, I love them over there. They have unveiled its Legacy, Hope, or Legacy of Hope wall. Okay. They just unveiled that this week. They offer more than 20 grief support groups for ages 4 and older to help process the grieve the death of a loved one. The center has served 25 counties across Southwest Missouri, and this wall is a tribute to the supporters of the Grief Center and their impact on the families in the Ozarks. They recently celebrated 25 years of providing professional therapeutic support. And it's for free. Most of their stuff is for free. And if you've never watched a community corner I've done with them, I've talked with Mark Miller. He is the executive director at Lost and Found. Jamie has come on, and Melanie. They're both over there, and they're great. They're doing great things. We have so many nonprofits in Springfield that are doing just phenomenal things. So make sure you check out Community Corner. I love to interview all of them. I wish I could. There's so many. I don't even run out of people to interview on that podcast. So support Lost and Found. They are great. And speaking of another great nonprofit, Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Ozarks, they're searching for volunteers right now. They set up mentoring relationships that support the development of our youth. And this actually coincides really well with a podcast that just dropped from around the Ozarks yesterday. Megan Deal, she actually used to work for Big Brothers Big Sisters. She has a podcast called The Real Deal Conversations. You've probably seen us post about it. It's every other Wednesday. And so yesterday she had an episode with Cam Stillings. He works at North Point Church in Nixa, and they talk about mentorship. And Cam is younger. He works with middle school age kids, and he gets to talk about what it's like being a mentor to them, what it felt like being the mentee. And so if you're interested in any of this, I'd suggest listening to that podcast. Megan does phenomenal work with her podcast. And if you're interested in mentoring, that podcast goes hand in hand with what Big Brothers and Big Sisters is looking for. So check it all out. Big Brothers Big Sisters website is bigbro.com. So if you're interested, make sure you look into it. And then the History Museum is continuing the year-long celebration of the 100th birthday of Route 66. The History Museum on the Square opened its newest exhibit, Miles of Memories, celebrating Route 66 centennial. Okay, so this exhibit brings together highlights from the museum's 5-year Route 66 exhibit series, exploring Springfield and Greene County's impact on America's most famous highway, according to a release from the museum. The executive director, Scott Fitzgibbon, said that the centennial year is an opportunity to celebrate not only the road itself, but the communities that gave it character. So make sure you check that out. I mean, we had our big kickoff ceremony festival at the end of April, but this whole year is so much fun. We're looking forward to the birthplace of Route 66 festival. It's happening in August. Springfield played a big part, I'm sure, as you know, at this point, because we've all been talking about Route 66 for months, years, it feels like. But get out and go visit that exhibit, because Sean does great work at the History Museum. It's really cool to learn about Springfield. I've lived here most of my life, and most of the things that Sean has told me, I didn't know. So anyway, speaking of Route 66, the Gilloys has one of their Route 66 series shows happening tomorrow night. The Emmy Award-winning late night talk show, The Mystery Hour, is back for a special Route 66 edition featuring skit comedy, music, and interviews under the direction of host Jeff Houghton. You never know what's going to happen, so The Mystery Hour is a fitting title, okay? And this is part of their Route 66 Centennial series. It is fully sponsored by the Route 66 Centennial Commission, which means it's free. So it's free, but you do have to have a ticket. So you can reserve that ticket by phone or in person at the box office at the Gilloys. If you want to go in person, their box office is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and their phone number is 417-863-9491. So make sure you go see that. Also, something really cool that's happening tomorrow. This is kind of embarrassing, actually. Not this part. Around the Ozarks and 105.1 The Bull are taking over Route 66 Stadium tomorrow for country music fireworks after the game, okay? And the embarrassing part for me, somebody thought that it would be a good idea to have me throw out the first pitch. And if you know me personally, I am the most unathletic person in the entire world. So I don't know I think all my coworkers and everyone's like, you know what, that would just actually be funny. So if you want to be a part of the laughs, you can come hang out with us on Friday. It's going to be so much fun with the fireworks. Also, it's going to be the second official night of the Ozark Snipe Hunters, which if you're kind of confused about what that even means. So if you know how the Cardinals did like the Springfield Cashew Chickens, and they still do that occasionally, it's like their alter ego. Okay. So like a few games here and there, they'll play as the Cashew Chickens. They're doing that now also as the Ozarks Snipe Hunters. And it's just going to be so much fun. Tonight is the first night of them doing that. But then tomorrow night when we're going to be out there will be the second night. And they're going to be full on in New Jerseys. It's going to be so much fun. And if you know who Marty the Sign Man is, he was a staple in the Ozarks sports world. There's going to be a bobblehead giveaway tomorrow night as well. So the first 2,000 people will get a Marty the Sign Man Prather bobblehead. So if you're interested in that, make sure you show up, hang out with me, make fun of me a little bit. That's fine. So yeah, a lot of things happening. If you are looking for something to do around the Ozarks, make sure you check out our community calendar. We've got everything posted there. And you shouldn't have any issues finding things to do around the Ozarks. That is all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I know I'm not Ethan or Sarah, but I try to do my best to fill their shoes. So have a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Gruba Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Here is your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It is June 11th, and we are talking about the threat for severe weather in the Ozarks today. I expect that we're going to have rain and storms on the radar once again later today. Yes, there's a threat for flooding and strong to severe weather, so it's a forecast that we got to pay attention to on this Thursday. This morning, things generally nice across the Ozarks, however, a bit warm. We've got numbers in the mid-70s for starting time temperatures. Yeah, it's not hard to warm up. When you start at 74 degrees, you're going to see high temperatures pushing 90 by this afternoon. It's not until much later this evening and tonight that we have the opportunity for strong to severe thunderstorms, and that is coming along with a cold front, not just affecting us, but affecting a big portion of the Midwest, all the way up into the Great Lakes with heavy rain and the threats for severe weather. It's hot already with temperatures starting out in the mid-70s. No long sleeves, no long pants today. It is going to be a hot one across the Ozarks. It will be a nice pool day across the region. Heat index values will be up near 100 degrees. So if you have to be outdoors today, not in the pool, make sure you're making time to take some breaks in the air conditioning. UV index is also incredibly high, so use the sunscreen if you're heading out the door today. We've got high temperatures near 90 today, and then cooler weather is on the horizon. I told you that the strong storms come with a cold front. That happens late tonight, and we will see temperatures respond accordingly. Those numbers will get knocked down as we head into Friday with highs falling back into the lower 80s, but it's going to be a hot day before those rain and storm chances get here. I do have an opportunity for rain and storms. In fact, the entire Ozarks outlined in a severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Storms are going to be moving through southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. This happens late this afternoon into the evening hours, and the threats here include large hail, damaging winds, and also a little secondary risk for some brief tornadoes. Do be on alert tonight. You know, we had the severe weather that resulted in confirmed tornadoes just from the other night. Low end ones, but tornadoes nonetheless, causing damage and threatening property. Also, with some of these storms that are coming through, there could be a risk for some flooding. As you know, we are waterlogged in many places across the Ozarks and had issues with some flooding just earlier this week. Behind the cold front, we've got cooler weather returning for tomorrow into the weekend. Numbers are going to back off a bit, but unfortunately, we don't get rid of the rain chance. I have more in the way of rain and storms heading our way, and these widespread rain chances will lead to locally heavy rain and flooding more. We have widespread rain moving through this weekend, bringing the potential for flooding. Highest rain chances are going to be late Saturday into early Sunday. Exact rainfall amounts are still a bit in question as models are kind of wavering back and forth at this point, but I think the heaviest showers will happen late in the day on Saturday into Saturday night, and they will not come to an end until Monday morning. It's not the news we want to hear, especially after all the flooding that we earlier had this week. Around the country, we're making headlines. We have severe thunderstorms for the Great Lakes all the way to the mid-Mississippi Valley today. I saw it this morning on the national news headlines. A lot of folks with their eyes on the midsection of the country. We have showers and thunderstorms producing heavy rain in these same areas, increasing the chance for excessive rainfall. And the drought conditions are getting just wiped out in a lot of places across the middle USA. All right, here's a look at that around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. What is the name for a fast-moving, destructive wall of dust or sand pushed ahead of a thunderstorm? And the options here were A, Sirocco, B, Monsoon, C, Haboob, or D, Chinook. Have you ever heard of any of these terms before? Well, if you haven't, it's a silly one. It's C. Haboob is the answer that we use for that. So congrats if that was your guess. Here's the next trivia question. This one I'll have the answer to tomorrow morning. What is the name for the bright dancing lights often seen in the night sky near the North and South Poles? Do you think that is A, the auroras, B, the halos, C, the sprites, or D, the mirages? Please enter your guess. You could win $50 to Godfather's Pizza. So let me know what you think. You can do that at the website. It's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather this morning. I sure appreciate you listening, and I'm grateful to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Have a great one, everybody. Make sure you stay weather aware. We've got the forecast for you updated up to the minute all day long at the website. So if you need the radar, you need a forecast later today as those severe storms are coming through, make sure you check out the website. I'll be back to chat tomorrow morning.